Hello everybody, Hotspot here. What a fantastic journey it has been joining you guys through 5 years of the Midwest F1 League. And we're just going to take a good go of it here and try to recap some of the best moments in the history of this great league. Over the 5 years, we've had some phenomenal racing, great battles up and down the grid from any division, any track, any season.
As let's see if Janet to win it can make up the position here. He's got the DRS going into turn one, half a second behind. And now up the hill they go. Sadistic King's going to have to do some great defensive driving if he wants to hold this spot. Oh, and there goes Janet to win it into the corner. Someone's lost a front wing in front of him. Janet to win it has taken the spot. I'm not sure he'll have to box again in this race. A little bit further back, here's Will Ans. Can he make the move on Hubble Hippo as they go into Casino? It's side by side. What beautiful racing we're seeing here. Risky, but beautiful at the same time as they go into Mirabeau. Still side by side. Are we going to get another hairpin overtake? And no, it looks like Will Ans has the position for now. Has to offer. Lights coming on here in Spain. 3, 4, and eventually 5. They are off. Eventually, now is the answer here in Division 3, and it looks like the two Alpines got away pretty simultaneously off the line. They are side by side in the first quarter. Look at Cynical, he's trying it up the outside. Look at him go! Around the outside is Cynical, and he's taking the lead into the first. Turning on now here in Silverstone. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you had a great one. However, they are off in Division 2. And it looks like Say has gotten a much better start off the line. Even better, as we predicted, Scuba Steve up through the middle, and he takes the lead before they even get to the first corner. Kelly Robb able to hold on to second for now. It's 3 wide for second place. The Mercedes of Andy down to the inside. We got a tree in the way of the camera angle. Andy still down to the inside. Still 3 wide. This is unbelievable action here between the Mercedes, the Ferrari, and the Alfa Romeo. Say comes out all right. Exiting La Source up the hill. Shaw here, 0.2 of a second on Ayahuasca as they make their way. Soy Loco is retired in the pits, unfortunately for him, but he has met 90%, so we'll get credit for 12. Texas Tornado losing 2 spots. Look at Shaw passing the grass! Holy shit, he almost made that work!
This was more of an honorable mention as the best overtake that really never was.
There. Apologies for my language, but Kate Thomas in behind, doing everything he can to keep up to it. Car's been in pursuit as well. Final couple corners of the Grand Prix here in Baku. It looks like Electric Blade might just have enough. It's going to be so close. Kate Thomas is going to have DRS pulling it. He's down to the inside of Lancey, side by side. Kate Thomas is going to go up the inside and try to get Electric Blade as well. It's going to be a drag race. Who's it going to be? 3 different cars at the line. Good God Almighty. And Electric Blade gets it. There ain't no way in hell we just saw that.
A bit of a slide coming out of the corner, which let Lightwork squeak on by him. But now they're battling back and forth, and Bacon has closed the gap. He is right on the heels. This will be an interesting DRS going through the finish line, just dipping those toes into the grass, and now Lightwork going for the pass on the inside, and so is Bacon. He's going for the double pass.
Bacon takes the double!
Can he hold it through the corner? Just barely.
What a commanding move from Bacon.
Now look, we've all done some dumb things over the 16 seasons in Midwest F1, myself included.
And Say, the current top 2 starters, Andy on the hards. Oh, my goodness, Andy has spun it on the formation lap here. Oddly enough, the last person to spin it on a formation lap here in Division 2 won the race after. Scuba Steve here is going to lead the field back to green. Interesting for him, he did not pit. He started on the hards. He's got his fast teammate of Lightwork behind him, Helgelin in 3rd. Oh, what the hell? Scuba Steve has gone around, and so in the process has Soy Loco. Well, that one we didn't expect. Lightwork has come away with the lead somehow at the end of that.
Oh, Hotspot, no. Oh, he's going backwards. Oh my God, what has gone? Oh God.
I mean, I don't even know what to make.
Words of Lando Norris at Germany, it's effing wet.
There we go. Thank you. Drops
Brian
down. His
Mossa.
key spins out. Oh, almost takes a piece off of. What was that?
Mossa has spun out on the start
Oh, he
straight.
gets clipped.
He collides with his teammate.
This is his teammate.
I think
Oh,
it's one of the-
big
oh.
crash. Wow,
Mossa and Tim
Mossa
Lee.
and Tim Lee.
No way!
Tim Lee, no!
Tim Lee!
This one deserves a little bit of context. Janet to win it had a very chaotic day to begin with, and he decides to try to stop on track to bring out the safety car, which he did successfully. What he also successfully did was get banned from the league. And who doesn't love a good crash compilation to finish things off? We've seen plenty of them in our time here in Midwest F1. So here are some of the biggest that we've ever had.
To hold off these two drivers behind him. They're probably... Oh my god, and that... it ends like that. But here comes Noganator. Look to the outside of Capital. Back to the other side. Down to the right side. They're going to bump... Oh my god, and Noganator's on his roof. Goodness gracious. Oh, and then he's going to go and get hit by... That's... Oh my god, that's... What is happening? Oh, and Mopower Cowboy getting into VTEC under the virtual safety car. Oh, and we got a car off. That's Danny Nico. Oh my god! The second week in a row we've seen a Mercedes land on top of his halo. Unbelievable, and now, as you can see, he's come to rest in the middle of the track. Very dangerous situation here.
On our 5 lights, and now we have hit all 5 lights, and they are about to go out, and they go out now, and we see the drivers get off pretty solidly. Nothing real crazy going on in the back here. We do see a little bit of a wing damage. MX blocks him, actually loses out. Now there we go. Oh my goodness gracious! We see all 4 drivers collide and pinch and slam into the walls. We see Cam now out of the session. We see penalties galore being handed out. See Barry and Smokemon seem to.
Oh, are you shitting me?
Mind that front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Caution, caution. The virtual safety car is out. Reduce speed and maintain a positive delta.
I can't even drive.
Super neat as we go. Money Matt picking up a penalty here.
Somebody else has spun. Oh my goodness! Somebody's flipped. Money Matt is dead.
Okay.
Oh my god! What the?
Side pods have taken damage. Keep an eye on your engine temperatures. Cooling may be adversely affected. Okay, safety car deployed. Safety car's been deployed. Watch your delta. Make sure you keep it positive as we catch the pack. There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now.
Really?
I mean, it depends context, I think. Oh, Kenny around the outside, but Brian skips the track.
I think
There's
Brian's
not
out
really
for
any
fucking blood this week.
Oh, Racing Point!
Oh my
the front!
god!
Oh,
Dude,
that
he
was
was-
Barry.
Dude, he was all.
This wouldn't be a true compilation if we didn't see some of the funniest moments in Midwest history. Let's roll them.
Off, so they wobble a bit back and forth. That's giving Cali Rob a chance to make his move, but we do have a caution flag, and it looks like Cali Rob, I'm sorry, doesn't make it around the corner.
Cali Rob, 2 seconds back to Palmer. Edwin not far behind Palmer. I would assume Edwin could Oh, I've got a cramp. I've got a cramp in my leg. Okay, I would assume Got Palmer might just have...
Bacon.
Nah, you're pitting.
Oh,
You're pitting in the wall.
bacon.
Classified.
Oh, bacon.
I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. You're gonna kill both of us. I wouldn't recommend it.
Fine, go back to the front. Shit, I just punted him. Oh my god. Alright.
Around caution.
That was stupid of me. I'll probably get I'll get banned from that.
That was a nice
I'll get 35 seconds, 6 LPP, and 5 season play then. Because Pork's a fucking whore. Pork's a whore. Whole fucking mod team's a whore, honestly. Not even. I'm just gonna be straight with you.
No fuel. Wow. Oh, what the? Oh, Hotspot! Hotspot's gonna pass with no fuel! Hotspot gets to overtake on the final turn on Chunky Corgi without any fuel. What the?
I tell you what, if you've retired from the session, this is getting kind of boring.
This clip needs context as well. About 9 minutes into this qualifying session, the rain heavily started to come down in Division 1. The majority of the grid decided they retired. Say wanted to stay out on track and use this as a practice session. The fed-up boys from the WS allegedly took business into their own hands.
Oh my god, he's in first gear, isn't he?
He's in third.
Open the
He's low fuel mode.
Oh my god. He's in low fuel?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
He definitely is.
Bro.
He's going 103 miles an hour in third.
Yo,
Oh, you got
he's
this in next
104.
lap.
He's 104.
somebody DOS this guy, bro.
Oh no, you didn't.
If only that would fix it.
Who's that Williams behind?
Lansy, just T-bone him.
Lansy, please
Kill
keep
him, bro.
Hold on, I'm on
No one,
We'll all back you up in the
no
chat
one will
afterwards
report
when
you.
somebody
No one will
reports you.
report you.
Lakers at Nuggets, other way around perhaps, 53-48 as the Lakers lead. Tomorrow the Celtics play the Heat, 8:30. After the Heat's,
You know, I know.
Is
I
an
know the
argument that
story.
we've made before.
I know the
Hit him, Lansy.
Lansy, come
Get him,
on.
Lansy, get him.
123 to 116.
Come on.
This will be the end of our session here. Oh, look at this. Say has gone with the fish lid. Oh, and that's interesting.
Serves you right. Yeah.
Well, that's a slight.
Attaboy.
What in the hell is this?
Wait, what the fuck's everyone laughing at?
can't turn around.
I feel like something else happened here. Did something else happen?
I'm not really sure what tomfoolery was just happening.
Well, it's been a fantastic 5 years here in Midwest F1. Cheers to another 5 years, and let's take you trackside now to the 5th anniversary Grand Prix from the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 5th anniversary Grand Prix for the Midwest F1 League. By goodness me, what a fantastic season we've had for you so far. And what a way to find the midway point of this campaign than at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. A place that I had the fantastic pleasure of visiting back in the Grand Prix weekend this previous June. It was a fantastic time. I have grown such in love with the country of Canada, and over the years I have also grown in love with this league, the Midwest F1 League. Let me tell you something. I came in here what I believe was the inaugural season of the Division 2, and by God, I think it was, geez, how old was I? I tell you what, I must have been going into college. I think I was going into freshman of college 5 years ago. And here I am now, broke and unemployed. No, playing. and also drunk. No. But here we are then, ladies and gentlemen. What a fantastic grid we've got for you tonight. Some of the best drivers that we've seen here on track, 19 of them. We are so ready. It is time. 5 years in the making. This is a league that has produced some of the best talent that I've ever seen as far as esports are concerned, as far as sim racing, at least in these F1 games. Let me tell you, that is definitely for true. Over the years, over the 6 other leagues I've realistically casted, this has got to be the league that has drawn some of the best talent that I've seen. And I tell you what, if you're watching this on YouTube, following the edits that I make in the re-uploads, then I'm so happy you've been able to join us, and hopefully as well, you will have enjoyed the build-up kind of portions of this video as well. But anyway, here we go. First driver out on track appears to be the Alpine of Cake Thomas, making his way out to the circuit, down the pit lane, and onto the track. Let me tell you something. Cake Thomas has been a longtime member of this league. He can tell you as well. This has provided some absolutely fantastic races over the years, and even over the years, this season in general. We'll take a look at the schedule as we've had it so far. Round 1 taken by Race Day, 2 and 3 taken by Shankadelic. Round 4, Ayahuasca. Round 5, Cali Rob. Race Day took actually round 6 in Belgium. And then Scornsy took Imola last time out. Scornsy, the winningest driver in Midwest F1 history. And I tell you what, you got a driver like Race Day 2016 knocking on the doorstep of that title. It's been a phenomenal season so far. Let's take you through our driver and constructor standings while we've got a second here. Coming into tonight, Fire Up Flow leads the title race at 316 points. Cali Rob second at 302. Race Chase 296. Race Day 291. Ayahuasca 282. Shankadelic, Weeb, Thomas, and Tizzle round out the rest of the top 10 of the Drivers' Championship. As far as the constructors are concerned, the Red Bulls lead the way at a 614. The Alpines in second, 524. The V-Carbs 505. 499 for the Saubers. 498 for the Ferraris. Mercedes, Williams, McLaren, Haas, and Aston's round out the proceedings here. As entering the track now, Cake Thomas in his time lap. I tell you what, pit exit being on the outside of turn 2, that kind of almost got in the way there. Those couple of cars exiting the pit lane. But that's no mind to Cake Thomas, making his way now in through and heading in towards Sector 2, beginning now at the left-handed corner of Turn 6, and eventually the flick back right to Turn 7. DRS activated all the way down here, and then eventually underneath the pedestrian bridge, as you can see, in towards 8 and 9. Oh, as we have an... What is that? That's an Aston Martin in the wall right there. I think getting loose on acceleration coming out of the corner. Down into the hairpin now at turn 10. And 11 by technicality on the way out, which is a corner apparently there. Back on the throttle. Cake may actually get a couple of toes here from some other traffic. I believe that was the Sauber of Travis Scott. And I believe, well, this will be clear track ahead of him. But now heading into the Wall of Champions chicane. A little bit earlier on the brakes than I kind of expected him to be, but he's handled it really cleanly. On the throttle, down the pit straight, and across the line for Cake. It's a 1:10.924. That is a very solid first lap. Travis Scott behind him, although he has invalidated this and next. I think he's probably gone off going across the Wall of Champions chicane there, and that has prevented him from being able to start a flyer here. Let's go along with our reigning defending champion of Race Day 2016, and that was short-lived, isn't it? It's because he's gone immediately over the curb in turn 1 there, unfortunately for him. Who's our next driver around the line? I believe it's going to be the Williams of Gottney Weeb starting one. The other Mercedes of GSR Edwin also starting one here. And we've got a Ferrari of Cali Rob, who I believe is on a flyer. He'll be our next one on track to be able to complete a timed attempt here. Exiting the hairpin, back on the throttle you go, down the very long back straight here. Such a beautiful circuit this, very picturesque. The amount of screensavers I have made from the pictures I have taken at this circuit in my, what I could describe as a brief visit, but it was a visit nonetheless of just the one day. Such a fantastic place. 111.439 for Cali Rob. Shariah's gone 111.107. Race Chase, your new provisional pole sitter, 110.472, as that currently is now the fastest time of the session. Aha, but not for long. Fire Up Flow 110.404, and that has got Race Chase by about 7/100ths of a second. Next around the line is going to be the Aston Martin of, it's going to be P6 for him, unfortunately. After that is going to be Cam Tizzle to the line, and Cam Tizzle will go starting one now. Race Day 2016 beginning what I believe is his first timed attempt here. Potentially, maybe not. Let's see, is his energy being used here? It certainly appears to be. We'll see the split at Sector 1. Has gone heavy over the inside curb there, going through the 3 and 4 chicane. A little surprised he didn't invalidate. 22nd first sector for him. Definitely appears like this is a flying lap anyway from Race Day. Down the straight now, heading in towards 8 and 9. DRS activated under the pedestrian bridge. Took it at kind of an odd angle there. Bit of slippage getting on the throttle on the way out, but he's done well. In towards now the hairpin. Heavy on the brakes. You can see him feathering the brake pedal as much as he can. Of course, no ABS here in Division 1, which is a very talented thing to learn, I must say. DRS activated again for race day. Heading down the straight and in towards the wall of champion chicane. Let's see what he can do here if he keeps it clean. Oh, I tell you what, that's as clean as you'd like. DRS activated again. Cam Tizzle goes fastest. That's, well, I thought it wasn't going to last very long. Cam Tizzle's 1:10.288 is actually going to stand the test of race day, who was an even 10th behind in second place. Fire Up Flow only behind race day by 6/1000. So it's a very competitive top end of the grid for the time being. But here's the driver that I think I'm very interested in seeing here. Scornsy, the driver who has won more championships than any, I believe more races than any. And he did so again last time out in Imola, the undisputed GOAT of Midwest F1. But I tell you what, that title may be up for grabs if Race Day 2016 keeps winning and getting titles like he's been doing. Scornsy, your championship winner. Season 3, 4, 7, 10, 11, 5 times. Race Day, Season 9, Season 13, and then twice more on the bounce. Scornsy making his way now into Sector 3 with the hairpin coming up next. 41.9. No indication yet. Oh, big slide on the back end, and that's going to do it. Oh, and it appears we have the chrome McLarens as for now. I didn't notice that. Yeah, big slide on the back end going into under braking. Really stepped out of line, and that's going to be the end of the time lap there for Scornsy. Unfortunately, his first one will not come to fruition here. We got a Sauber coming up next, Ayahuasca. And I tell you what, Ayahuasca, I commentate him in at least one other league. And he is a very quick driver, among the quicker that I've seen so far. And Ayahuasca starting his time lap now, exiting turn 2. I wonder if you could see me over there. Anyway, back on the throttle, heading in towards 3 and 4 now. Oh, I tell you what, a lot of these drivers taking as much room to the inside of that chicane at 3 and 4 as they can. I would not be surprised if we see some 3-second track limits penalties be handed out in the race. It's such a difficult section of the track to get right. On the throttle from turns 7 to 8 into the chicane now after DRS. Oh, he's going to have to get off of it there. Or I think he may have hit the wall on the outside. Still going for it, however. Purple Sector 2 into the chicane. Bit of a lockup. Slight slide on the way in. Might be a little bit slow on exit. 9 minutes 15 remaining. Back on the throttle. Heading down the very long back straight. And in now to the Wall of Champions. He's got that right. He's handled it well. DRS activated again. Ayahuasca still going for it. And across the line does go top of the charts. 109.536. Fantastic stuff from Ayahuasca. And he thought that time lap by Cam Tizzle and Race Chase was, pretty good. I tell you what, he's blown that out of the water. Fantastic lap from Ayahuasca. And Cam Tizzle, as we see now, is on a timed lap, or is on an out lap as well. Race Day appears to be on a flyer. Exiting the hairpin was Purple Sector 2, although may have lost a little bit of time there coming out of the hairpin. Down the casino straight now into the Wall of Champions chicane. Does he stay on the timed lap? Yes, he does. I tell you what, he took that to perfection. DRS activated again, and across the line for Race Day, and that is second. 109.798 improves by 0.6 of a second, and he's still shy of Ayahuasca by 1/4 of a second. It's a phenomenal lap from Ayahuasca. I wonder, genuinely, if there is going to be a driver to beat that time, who it's going to be. I'm not entirely sure. Absolutely phenomenal lap from Ayahuasca, and even still in relatively early goings here, 7 minutes 40. Purple Sector 1 for Fire Up Flow. Heading now into 8 and 9. He handled that pretty well. Maybe a little bit slower on exit than we saw some of the other cars take it. Into the hairpin now. Bit of a lockup on the back end. Tell you what, that was pretty tidy there from Fire Up Flow. This is looking like it's going to be a good lap. I think he could contend for the podium positions here. 7 minutes remaining. A little bit of traffic in the way. Hopefully that doesn't hinder him. Got a Sauber on a timed lap. That's Travis Scott's getting ready to put in his first representative timed attempt. Very nicely done through Wall of Champions, and across the line he goes. P3, 110.239, improves by 1/10.5. Gets now just about within 0.7 of a second of the top spot. That's a phenomenal lap from Fire Up Flow. Ayahuasca is, well, it has to be said, has been slightly robotic so far in this generation of EA Sports F1 game. It's been phenomenal to watch. 109.995 for Cam Tizzle, improves by 0.3 of a second, now moves within just about 4.5 of the top spot. So I guess the times are falling here, is what we're seeing. They're not quite there yet, but it is certainly possible. Scornsy's about to begin a timed lap here. Let's go along with the GOAT as he makes his way through Wall of Champions. Last week's race winner in Imola as well. Unfortunately, I was not along for the ride on that cast, but into the Senna corners here. Very close to the inside of the curb. It was interesting in real life, a lot of the drivers would take that corner much wider. In the game, they're very content on staying to the inside of turn 2 as much as they can. And he's handled 3 and 4 the best of anybody, I'd say, to this point. Through turn 6, through turn 7 coming up next. Doesn't have a timed attempt on the board. This is his first lap. It'll be interesting to see where his time comes out here. 8 and 9, handled well, back on the throttle, very early as well. Heading now into the hairpin. This is where he had the mistake last time, had a lock up on the rear end, and it really got away from him, had to abandon the time. Took the hairpin slightly wide there, that may hurt him slightly. 5 minutes 5 remaining in the session now. Down the casino straight, heading towards Wall of Champions. Making his way through the chicane. Oh, I tell you what, somehow he's kept that time on the board. Certainly looked like he invalidated to me, but across the line for Scornsy, it's going to be P4, 110.091. Gets within 5.5 of the top spot. P4 for Scornsy for the time being. That's a great place to be. But Ayahuasca's time of a 109.536 looks ever the more impressive. But now the question is, can Race Day strike back with a little bit of time left here? And I tell you what, Race Day, this is going to be an interesting lap for him. Will he push his hardest? Maybe. Because this is at least going to guarantee them that if he cocks up this one, he may at least get one additional timed lap on the board. So it'll be interesting to see if that's going to be the case here for the Mercedes. On the throttle, down the pit straight, and across the line, the time lap beginning now for Race Day into the first corner. Braking about where that entry road is kind of the marker in which these drivers are braking into this first corner. Back on the throttle. Handled it pretty well. In through 3 and 4 now. Takes a lot. Well, I tell you what, that was a clean go of it. Before, when we saw him take that lap, really took a lot of the grass on the inside of 3 and 4. Only just kept the lap alive, and that's a purple Sector 1 for the reigning champion. Then a slide on the back end as he gets on throttle. Down the straight now, heading in towards turn 8 with DRS. Clear track ahead of him, save for one V-carb in the way, who I believe is Lancey. Lancey entering the pit lane. Shouldn't be a problem here for Race Day. Maybe even could be able to get a tow to the end of the V-carb here. Very nicely done through the chicane, or for the hairpin. Maybe a little bit wide on the way out. DRS activated. Pedal to the metal now. Already in excess of 330 kilometers an hour through Wall of Champions again. He's handled that one to a T. That was one of the quicker go-throughs that we've seen. 3 minutes to go and across the line for Race Day. And he's actually slower by 5/1000ths. That looked a great lap there from Race Day, but it was not enough. 2 minutes 50 remaining. If he hustles back around the circuit, he could get that car in, get a new set of tires on, and get it back down to lower fuel, and have the opportunity to put in one final push lap. Coming around the line now, we've got one of the Ferraris, Gunnar Addy, and as well as his teammate Cali Robb. across the line here for Cali Robb. As Drismic appears to have retired, that appears to be in the pit lane. Just checking the Discord now to see if we've had any mention of rain. I don't believe that we had. Nope, not quite yet. If there is any, it's not been mentioned. Cali Robb, maybe slightly slow going through turn 7 there, or turn 6 rather. Took a lot of the curb on the inside. Currently resides P12. Very competitive midfield, and by midfield I mean realistically the whole grid save for Ayahuasca. 6/10 from Cam Tizzle down to Lancey in 10th, and then from Lancey to Travis Scott and is an additional 5/10. 1.8 separates the top 15. 1.1 separates the top 10. 10th through 15th, as I said, about 7/10. 1 minute 15 remaining. Wall of Champion chicane for Cali Robb. This will surely be his final timed attempt. Lancey has retired from the session. His day is done across the line, and he has not improved. This is going to be the flyer from Cali Robb. I kind of thought that potentially he had backed off there. I didn't quite know for sure as I was reading off the times, but that's our confirmation for us there that is going to be the next timed attempt. Race day, I actually think is on a flyer here. Maybe he's put 2 runs of fuel in the car because he finished off that one attempt, and the initial thinking was, hey, get back into the pit lane, get a new set of tires, and get refueled. And that's actually not what's happened here. He's stayed out on track, and he's getting a good tow from the Aston ahead. 109.466, race day provisional pole with 30 seconds left. Ayahuasca making his way into 3 and 4 now. He's down by 7/100ths of a second. Somehow keeps the lap alive going through 3 and 4. That looked all 4 tires over the white line, but I'm not in charge, am I? In through 6. Handled that nicely. In through 7. Took the curb, and I tell you what, no sign of wiggle on that car whatsoever. That Sauber looks absolutely hooked up for the time being. Coming around the line next, I believe, is the other Sauber, Travis Scott, and potentially the other Williams of Alpine of Cake Thomas. I think they may have made it to the line beforehand. Cali Robb P12, that's all he can do. The Aston of Say gets P8. Next up, the McLaren of, it's not Scornsey, it's Fire Up Flow. Scornsey's not all that far behind, but Race Day 2016 has invalidated that timed attempt. He was already done with his time lap anyway. Here I go. Oh, and Ayahuasca's had to abandon. He's absolutely botched it going into the Wall of Champion chicane. Cam Tizzle's going to have an opportunity now with the tow from the V-Carbon across the line, only 3rd, but a good lap. Scornsey's gone P5. Cake Thomas still on a flyer here, I believe. We'll get the split time here in a second. And no, he is slower. It's going to be Race Day on pole by 7/100ths of a second. Ayahuasca was on such a good lap and totally misread the braking zone heading into the Wall of Champion chicane, got well out of shape. That car's in the pit lane, and that is going to be your starting grid. Race Day 2016, the defending champion on pole for the 5th anniversary Grand Prix. Ayahuasca 2nd, Cam Tizzle 3rd, Race Chase 4th, Scornsey 5th, Fire Up Flow 6th, Cake Thomas 7th, Shankadelic, Say, Weeb is the rest of the top 10. And what a grid it looks like we've got for you. So close between the top 2, little bit of a gap, but then from 3rd on back, it's pretty close as well. And from all indications saying that this is going to be a dry Grand Prix, we've got a hell of a show for you coming up. And as we have a moment now, some random YouTube video of a woman singing the Canadian national anthem, because that makes sense. once again, let me just tell you something. When I came into this league, I was 18 years old, didn't know shit about Formula One. I watched Drive to Survive, I finished it, and pretended I knew what I was doing, commentating a Division II Grand Prix. And I've learned a lot in those times, and what I have learned is this. That when you got such a great group of drivers, even the most difficult to overtake track makes for a phenomenal Grand Prix, and this Canadian circuit, year in and year out, provides some fantastic racing, and I think we're going to get more of that today. Everybody on the grid, save for Drizmic and GSR Edwin, are on the medium tires. Those two fellas in particular have gone hard for this occasion. Remember, 7/10 of a second separates Race Day and Ayahuasca. At least that was the pole time. Race Day needs a couple of good results here to get back into the championship fight. He's not all that far out of it. Let's be clear on that. He's really not that far away. Currently P4 in the standings. 316 is the top spot held by Fire Up Flow. Race Day 2016 at 291 and 4th. In between them, Kelly Robb at 302, Race Chase 296, and that's it. And Ayahuasca's on that doorstep as well, let's not forget. He's at a 282. And while we have him in it, well, there's the tire strategy, 13 to 20. Tell you what, it's adamant that we have a two-stopper. Not sure if that's going to be the case or not, but we'll see. And just a quick note on what the rest of the season looks like after today's Grand Prix. We head to the Suzuka International Racing Course in Japan, followed by Monza with no racing line. The Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort with no in the reverse direction. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the Red Bull Ring in reverse, and then Brazil to round out this phenomenal 16th season that we have. It's been such a fun ride, and I can't wait to see where this one leads us. Race Day 2016 will be the car on the left side of the grid. 4.36 kilometers in length this circuit. Ayahuasca will have the outside into the first corner, which transpires to the inside of turn 2. He will realistically have the advantage with a longer braking zone on the outside, and then immediately the inside of the following corner. He should be the favorite here, but Cam Tizzle, as you can see, has angled that Aston directly in between the gap. As we're just waiting now for the final two cars to make their way to the grid. GSR Edwin and Josh Sr., the final two. Race Day on the outside, on the mediums. It's going to be even Stevens as far as tire strategy. Here they go. Lights turning on. 5 years of Midwest F1, and they are underway once again. Race Day gets away really well. Ayahuasca is totally covered, heading into the first corner, as even that's Cam Tizzle trying to get around the Sauber. They're backed up 2 by 2 as they make their way through the center corner, back on the throttle, heading in through 3 and 4. Ayahuasca was actually able to hold Cam Tizzle behind, only just, as that was a very close battle off the line. We've got Shariah and Houdini side by side behind, as it looks like they will finally sort it out by the time they get into turn 6. Race Day leads half a second. Ayahuasca in second place under pressure from the Aston Martin of Cam Tizzle. He won't get an opportunity to overtake here in towards turn 8 and 9, but I believe it could be happening here very shortly. DRS as well activated next lap as Fire Up Flow, the championship leader, is off, having exited turn 8. Such an unfortunate turn of events there for the McLaren. When he needed a good race here, it's not happened, and he is all the way back down in P20. Race Day leads them down the casino straight. Ayahuasca well to the inside. Cam Tizzle, contact is made as the Aston tries to go around the outside, and Ayahuasca is going to choose life and actually cede the position in order to not have a conundrum going in through Wall of Champions. Down into the first corner once more. DRS will be activated on this lap. Race Day's got the fastest time so far. I wonder if that will stay. Say and Callie Robb side by side. Maybe a slight bit of a dive there from the Aston as he tries it round the outside, as the Haas of Houdini trying to stick his nose in as well. It's not quite going to come to fruition for that of Say, as Callie Robb will hold on to the 10th spot. Here's a look at the drivers moving up and down here. Gottney Weave is +3, having started 10th up to the 7th position, as well as Nikki 64 and Edwin also +3. Race Day has kept the top spot. The biggest loser, however, is unfortunately Fire Up Flow, who had the spin coming out of turn 8. I don't know if he's hit anything, but that car is now 3.5 seconds behind Drizmic in the tail end of the grid, down in P20. Into the hairpin they go. Race Day leads by about a second over Cam Tizzle. Ayahuasca in third. DRS will be activated here, and this is the zone that you gotta look out for if you're a driver, because realistically, a good go down this casino straight through the Wall of Champions could lead into something into the first corner. Solemnly, are you going to see a move get made into the braking zone at Wall of Champions? It does happen. We've seen it before, but it's not going to happen now. As that took about half a second off of the lead that Race Day did have, as this grid is well put together for the time being. Such an exciting first lap. I've actually forgotten to open my beer. Race Day now leads. I tell you what, that car for the time being looks phenomenal in the high downforce sections of the track, as he's already once again put about 4/10 of a second of the cars behind. In the straight line, I think that's where he's got to worry, because obviously the cars with DRS and potentially less downforce as well are going to do better on those very long straights that this track does feature. Into the hairpin now. Scornsy, I think, may potentially have a look at Ayahuasca in the coming laps. As from P1 all the way down to P10, DRS is shared by every driver involved. Down the casino straight now, heading in towards Wall of Champions. Race Day still leads. It looks as if potentially could Scornsy have a look at Ayahuasca. Not quite. Ayahuasca really close here to Cam Tizzle. DRS activated once more. Heading down the pit straight and into turn 1, although it doesn't appear like anything's going to happen in this go-around. Exiting turn 2. Ayahuasca still behind, only just. Was a relatively clean start to the Grand Prix, despite how much of a bottleneck that first sector really is. Which is a surprise, but a good surprise at that. 4/10 of a second still, as we do have a position being changed at the back. Edwin has actually gotten around Travis Scott on the way into turn 6. Must have been some sort of an error there for the Sauber. That's not typically a part of the track we see moves get made. Into the hairpin now, still a 7/10 of a second advantage. But as they make their way in, maybe a bit of a slide there for Ayahuasca. That could hurt him. Half a second. Scornsy. DRS activated here for the McLaren. 3/10 of a second. Closing, but not quite fast enough. He's not going to have a look quite yet. Although what I will say is this. Cam Tizzle is now very close to the back end of Race Day, at least once DRS is activated, as we have a yellow flag. Oh, that's Race Chase. Race Chase has gone round. Yes, he has. Exiting the Wall of Champions chicane. That car is off to the inside of the circuit, similar to, I believe, Kevin Magnussen in 2018, 2019, whenever it was. That car is well off to the inside, and he is going to have to wait to get that one turned back round. Do we have a safety car? What's happening here? Believe it or not, the safety car is on track. Why? How much of the front wing has he lost? I didn't think he had really lost that much of the car. Oh, yeah, well, he has. Yeah, that's a bold call. Maybe is that bit of the front wing just drastically on the racing line there. That's why the safety car has been brought out. That's what I'm going to go ahead and assume. That's kind of a mid-safety car. I think a VSC would have done well there. Well, I mean, you say that. Having gone off at the Wall of Champions chicane, even in real life, there'd be really no way for the circuit to cleanly get through that Wall of Champions chicane without, or as well with having marshals on track. So I think realistically that'd be the call in real life as well. Although it does seem a kind of a mid-safety car call here. Does this count for a pit window, though? 5 laps into the Grand Prix. Race Day's on his way in. Cam Tizzle does not follow. Ayahuasca does not follow. Scornsy will. We've got some discrepancy in tire strategy here. What happens for Scornsy? Those are going to be hard tires on for the McLaren. Hards on as well for the Mercedes. Now, this game, at least in the initial findings that we did have, seemed as if this was going to be a 2-stop race. Hard tires going on for Say. I tell you what, he had to wait quite a long time there. I think there was a car in the way on the way out. Maybe a bit of shuffling of position in the pit lane. Who is that that's climbing up the grid there? That's going to be the Hasa Drizmic, who has stayed out. Only a couple cars deciding to stay out on circuit here. Top 4 stay out. Drizmic's up to 9th. having stayed out. Cam Tizzle, Ayahuasca, Weeb, and Edwin, the top 4. Again, the game was insistent that this is a 2-stopper. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. But as we look here... let's turn that back on. So, everybody has gone to a fresh set of hard tires, as you can see. Top 3 remain on the medium, having started the race on the compound and stayed out on track. Edwin, one of the 2 cars to have stayed out on the hards. That actually, as well, is Drismic, the 2 drivers that did start on the hard tires to begin this Grand Prix. Everybody else has gone to the fresh set of hards. Safety car now out on track. Cam Tizzle will lead them around the circuit. I believe this might be a quick one here. Not a ton of guarantees on that front. So Cam Tizzle. Be interesting to see. I think the game tells us these medium tires are only going to be good for, I would say, about 12 to 15 laps, and they are still out here. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong, though. Because just because the game says it's a 2-stopper doesn't mean it will be, right? So, I mean, there's no guarantees as to what happens with that. Once again, guys, those of you who are watching, thank you for joining us. Be sure to look for this race again on YouTube in the coming days or weeks when the best of edition of this race, as well as the... well, not only is it going to be a best of edition all-time Midwest moments, as well as the race replay, just in a bit of a way to have some fun for this massive occasion that we do have. Safety car in at the end of the lap. Remember, be sure to get your race predictions in if you haven't already. Still some time. And, well, nobody's out yet. Cam Tizzle will lead them back to green, the top 3 on the medium tires in which they started the race on. Ayahuasca remains in a good position here. Actually started second, is still currently second. As back under green flag conditions, into the first corner they go. It looks as if Say actually may have a move on Lancey here into the first corner. Bit of a lockup from the Dutchman ahead, but is able to stay for the time being. Relatively tame start to the proceedings here, as it looks like the Mercedes guys are actually going to invert position. Edwin has allowed Race Day through. Race Day up to 4th. Ayahuasca to the back end of Cam Tizzle. It says caution in the top left of your screen. Please ignore that. I don't know what this game's on. 0.6 of a second. I tell you what, that Sauber does not look too good in the department of acceleration for the time being, as we've got Lancey and Drismic side by side into 8, and unfortunately the Haas is going to have to go off track. Oh, and he comes back on track and nearly takes the Aston of Say with him, and is now side by side with Callie Robb into the braking zone. Lock up ahead from the Aston as wheel to wheel they go through the hairpin. That was a lot to digest, that one. I think realistically, the Haas on the outside, he was wheel to wheel with the V-carb of Lancey. And unfortunately, that sort of thing's going to happen when you're in such a difficult position of the circuit like that. I think Say may have a case for an unsafe rejoining of the circuit there, when Drismic came back on and nearly made contact with the Aston in question. I think that might be a thing to look out for there. 0.2 of a second now, as Edwin's going to be our first penalty taker of the day. 3-second penalty for multiple warnings on the track limits. 0.3 of a second from Scornsy to the back end of the Mercedes, heading into 6. Back on the throttle. DRS will be activated here. Edwin actually behind the Mercedes of Race Day, maybe playing a little bit of defense here. Scornsy to the inside. He may actually have to work for this one. That's going to compromise his line through 9. I tell you what, he surely picked up a track limits warning for that. As I think the Great Wall of Edwin now just trying to get in the way as much as he can. Shankadelic to the inside now, heading in towards turn 10. The Red Bull trying to outbrake as much as he can. The Mercedes has actually just flat out gone wide, and the Red Bull now up to 6th. Cam Tizzle has since opened up a 0.8 of a second advantage over Ayahuasca. Gottney Weave has got some pace, and Race Day is in position as well. 0.4 of a second between the Mercedes and the Williams. Gottney Weave did not have a good go through the Wall of Champions. Race Day on the inside. Is he going to go for it? No. Race Day will back out of the lunge, which I think he probably could have taken realistically, but kind of made up his mind not to go for that position well early on. I think that may have been, at the very least, the safe decision there for Race Day 2016, as we do have Drismic off at the back. That is a genuine off as well for the Haas in question. That car is in the grass going through turn number 2. I wonder what's happened there. Kind of in front of everybody as well, it seemed, as we now have kind of a gap. Drismic's now got 3 seconds of penalty for multiple warnings. Lanty now, 3-second penalty. On the way into the hairpin. Gottney Weave now has a second disadvantage to Ayahuasca. I'm not entirely sure Weave is going to have some DRS here, and nor will Ayahuasca up to Cam Tizzle. Race Day is going to have an easy one here with the Williams. Yes, he does. Race Day around the outside and up to 3rd. And I think we'll probably have it again. Down the pit straight, heading into the first corner, as Scornsy now trying to find the inside of the Williams in towards turn 1. And he didn't quite back out of it, but he's not fully committed. Trying the outside. He's going to run out of real estate, but he's still trying his best. Goodness me, how? I don't even know why he backed out of that. I tell you what, he's going to go side by side through 3 and 4. I think maybe some just veteran safety moves going on there from Scornsy, because he, for what it's worth, he was getting some acceleration around the outside there too. I'm a little surprised he couldn't quite make that one happen. Well, DRS activated here. Have a quick look at the battle going on now for the 8th position. As DRS still in... Oh, as we got... somebody's off. That's Josh Senior off at turn 9. Oh, and the front wing is totally gone from the Williams in question. That could be another safety car here. That front wing is... I mean, it's definitely on the circuit. Oh, maybe not. Track's going to stay green somehow. It didn't stay green for the incident revolving the Ferrari coming out of the Wall of Champions. And I thought I'd much less damage than the Williams in question. Scornsy gets around Gottney Weeb. Say into the wall at Wall of Champions. That car took a clobbering there, as either just didn't quite get the line right, and now the Mercedes of Edwin to the inside, the Ferrari of Cali Robb to the inside as well. Cali Robb's not quite going to have it. He'll have to try around the outside, and Say's going to have that move covered. But I tell you what, that Aston did definitely hit that wall on the outside of Wall of Champions. I'm a little surprised that he's not got any visible wing damage anyway. Nope, that thing looks intact. A little bit lucky there, potentially. Race Day, 2.5 of a second to Ayahuasca. 5.5 of a second past him to Cam Tizzle. Race Day is on an absolute charge here, exiting turn 9. Not going to have the opportunity to try to outbrake Ayahuasca. He had kind of placed that car quite correctly in the inside there of the braking zone. 0.3 of a second. Ayahuasca as well does have DRS to Cam Tizzle ahead. That's going to keep, I think, Race Day at bay for the time being, as long as that DRS kind of stays in effect for the Sauber, Race Day is not really going to have a proper chance to get around him unless does he go for it in towards turn 1. Ayahuasca wanted the move to the inside to block off the move, and Race Day has actually made it happen. Yes, he has. Has flat out gotten around the Sauber. Nicely done for the Mercedes, as Say, I believe, has just picked up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. He's up to 6 seconds in penalty now, as Cake Thomas and Gottney weave side by side through 3 and 4. And I tell you what, good move there from Cake. Trying his best to keep this one competitive, as even Lancey now 1/10 of a second behind. A little bit of a slide there for the Williams, getting on the throttle. Lancey will have a look to the inside here, potentially. We'll have a quick look at this, as even then, the race for the lead is within 2/10 of a second here. No move it made in towards turn 8 for Lancey. Race day later on the brakes, potentially. Cam Tizzle's going to go a little bit wide. The door wide open. Race day's going to take the lead, and he'll have DRS as well. What a move for the Mercedes. He has DRS, but look at the run that Cam Tizzle has. I tell you what, he had great acceleration coming out of 11, and it is just down to not having DRS that's going to prevent him from getting that spot back, as well as the fact he's on the slightly older medium tires at this point. Great move from Race Day, as now Ayahuasca wanted it around the right side. Tizzle had perfectly blocked that line. As in now through 2, Cam Tizzle across the circuit to the right. Definitely had some issues there on throttle. Say is retired. Is that in the pit lane? Yes, it does appear that it is. Yeah, so the 2 DNFs so far, the Aston of Say, the Williams of Josh Sr., both deciding to end this one from the pit lane. Of course, the Williams did have that incident earlier on, in which the front wing was completely gone. By the time that happens, there's not a lot of chance to really come back from that sort of thing. Quite a shame. Into the braking zone, Ayahuasca, you can tell those mediums starting to kind of not necessarily get the best of him here. You can tell it's starting to get slightly more difficult to drive. Take a little bit of a look further back in the grid. 0.8 of a second from Lancey to Cake, 8.5 from Weeb to Lancey. They have a good battle here. Gunner, couple of tenths now trying to hunt down Nicky 64. Ayahuasca actually now within 0.2 of Cam Tizzle. Nearly had a move happen. Not quite. Although Cam Tizzle, I tell you what, that Aston looks a serious handful right now. Ayahuasca really knocking on the door. And Cam Tizzle trying his best to stay afloat. But the shark is in the water. And the Jaws music is playing in the background. Ayahuasca is right there. Speaking of music, I forgot to turn my speaker off. That's some terrible battery. 0.2 of a second now. Ayahuasca to the back end of Cam Tizzle. It's not quite able to make the move yet. He's had a bit of a wiggle getting on the throttle, exiting 9. That may open the door for Scornsy into 10. Scornsy's not going to have it quite yet. I think what he's going to do here, Scornsy's going to wait behind Ayahuasca to try to make this move around both Ayahuasca and Cam Tizzle. It'll depend on the run that the Sauber gets, and it'll depend on Scornsy's run as well. And I don't think either of those things are going to happen, unless potentially Scornsy can find a way around. He's not even really using his energy store, but Cam Tizzle into the pit lane, and Ayahuasca's got 3 seconds of penalty. Not only that, but he did hit the wall, going through the wall of champion chicane. And I tell you what, again, bit lucky that no front wing damage is present, because that's, well, we only just barely saw it. We did see it, that Ayahuasca had hit that wall 0.6 of a second for Scornsy on back. Cam Tizzle into the pit lane, fresh hards for him. If this is a 2-stopper race like the game says, this may have been a good decision from Ayahuasca and Tizzle. Sacrificing track position now, but for what it's worth, the grid is really close together. What is happening here? Something is wrong with Ayahuasca's car. I tell you what, allowing Scornsy past, I'm not quite sure what's happening with that. Only 20 seconds separate the top 17 cars. That is, I mean, realistically, a pit stop. Cam Tizzle went down to 15. That was kind of weird there. As we have a yellow flag now, that's Gunner, who apparently has hit the wall coming out of turn 8. Shankadelic now could have a look at Ayahuasca. Not quite. Only a 10.5 behind. .310. In towards turn 2. Meanwhile, Cam Tizzle trying to find a way around Race Chase, and I tell you what, that Aston still isn't really doing the Lord's work here. Having a little bit of a trouble getting back up to Race Chase. As we have Travis Scott into the pit lane now. Race Day leads this one by 5.5 seconds. Scornsy in 3.5 seconds. Apologize for that. 3.5 seconds. Ayahuasca third. May be pressured by Shankadelic here shortly. Kate Thomas in the mix as well. Couple of drivers with time penalties in this one. Ayahuasca with 3, Lancey, Edwin, Chase, Drismic, and Scotts. All with 3-second penalties so far. Six-tenth of a second. Shankadelic back to Ayahuasca. DRS will be activated. Heading down the casino straight now, although I don't believe he's going to be close enough to make anything happen. Interesting to see. I think Ayahuasca's got to take a pit stop here, and that's exactly what he's doing. Into the pit lane is the Sauber. Let's see where he comes out on track. I think he's definitely going to be overtaken here by Cam Tizzle anyway. He will have now lost time officially, having stayed out as long as he did. Hard tires on for the Sauber, and apparently a good stop. Yes, it is. Gottney Weeb has entered the pit lane as well. Fresh hards for him. Cam Tizzle trying to get round Houdini here. As there you can have it briefly saw the Sauber in the distance. Cam Tizzle P11, Ayahuasca P14, and traffic in the way. Although, fresh tires on now for Cam Tizzle, for Ayahuasca. Everybody else ahead of them, at least 12-lap-old hards. It is possible that they can kind of carve their way through the field, and for what it's worth, again, if the game is right, and this is a two-stop strategy, it's absolutely possible. Trying to round the outside of Houdini, not quite. Shariah Coleslaw, 10th and a half behind Edwin. Cam Tizzle now really looking for the inside. I tell you what, Houdini was more interested in blocking him than he was giving way to the Alpine that was turning in ahead of him. Tell you what, that Haas nearly went into the side of Nicky, as something has gone wrong with Edwin. Well, I don't think Edwin's got DRS, has he? No, he hasn't. Shariah has easily overtaken him there. We had a brief yellow towards the back as Cam Tizzle got to get around Houdini. I think Houdini may have lost pace coming out of Wall of Champions. He's going to lose 2 or 3 positions now. Top 4 starting to spread themselves out, but for what it's worth, we got a very competitive one here towards the middle of the pack here, and even towards the back is Travis Scott's going to get around Drismic. Ayahuasca 7.5 tenths behind Fire Up Flow. Fire Up Flow has actually just picked up a 3-second penalty, so they are even on that front. Delta from Ayahuasca back to Cam Tizzle is really not all that much. What, about 2 seconds or less? The only problem is there is traffic in the way. Now Hasa Houdini. A little bit of difficulty there going through 8 and 9. Fire Up Flow, I think, may have had to check up just out of precaution. Ayahuasca's going to want to the inside. Oh, goodness me! Locking up on the back end and sliding into the corner, and somehow he didn't absolutely go bowling through either the McLaren or the Haas. And Race Day now has got a 3-second penalty. Having gone through turns 1 and 2, did he take too much curb to the inside? I think that may have been what's happened. What a close call there from Ayahuasca. He was getting risky with it. Wanted the move on Fire Up Flow, nearly had it on Houdini, nearly had a DNF. As Nicky 64 goes off the track there, whether he had help from Cam Tizzle or not, either way. 3 seconds of penalty now for the Alpine, as the majority of the grid now, I believe, on the 3-second penalty. Yep, that's definitely true. The majority of the grid with 3-second penalties. That now pretty much means this race is back to normal. If everybody on the grid picks up a 3-second penalty, it doesn't really matter, does it? Bit of a wiggle there from Edwin trying to break the toe of Cam Tizzle in through 8 and 9. In towards the hairpin now. He's not quite going to be able to get there. I tell you what, these cars are... There's Ayahuasca to the left side. He'll get around Fire Up Flow later on the brakes. Williams of Weeb behind. Ooh, I tell you what, Houdini went quite wide just then. Ayahuasca's going to have a good little run here on the Haas. Got Weeb and Fire Up Flow side by side. Overtake made. Cam Tizzle has gotten around Edwin heading in towards Wall of Champions. And Edwin, this is interesting for him, into the pit lane. Are we potentially now seeing the beginning of the end of the hard tires as Race Chase and Nicky 64 nearly side by side? Who are side by side, Weeb and Houdini in towards turn 1. A little bit of contact there on the left rear from the Haas. Still wheel to wheel going through turn 2. On exit, Weeb will have the position. Are we potentially now going to be seeing strategical stops from those on the hard tires, which is, well, everybody, actually. 0.3 of a second, Cam Tizzle to the back end of Shariah. Shariah's got 3 seconds of penalty anyway, so this will be Cam Tizzle, but realistically, this Aston trying to get himself back into a position where he could contend to be on the podium, which having, to this point, not having a 3-second time penalty, I think it could be possible, but he's got to get around the traffic first as Lancey and Shankadelic side by side into Wall of Champions. And Shankadelic, I don't know if he was the one trying that move or was Lancey, but either way, the Red Bull is the one that goes off track. Kate Thomas now overtaking the Red Bull. Shariah, I believe, or somebody is overtaking somebody there. I didn't quite see who that was. The Red Bull now, Shankadelic in 5th. 0.2 of a second behind Cake, going through 3 and 4. Turn 6 and 7. Very close battle here. As well, considering... Sorry, I apologize for that. We do have now Houdini and Fire Up Flow into the pit lane. Potential strategical decisions on the way. That's what it certainly seems to be. 0.2 of a second. Ayahuasca. Less than a tenth now on Nikki 64. Nikki will not have DRS. Tell you what, move into turn 8. You don't see that very often, and he's done it. And he's kept it within the white lines as well. Nicely done, but now we got a 3-car battle for the 3rd position. Lancey does not have DRS. Kate Thomas has gotten around the V-carb. Shankadelic's up next, trying it on the left side. Oh, bit of a slide on the back end there from Lancey. Shankadelic had to compromise his line to make sure that the V-carb didn't plow into him there. And probably picked up a track limits warning for that as well. Gotney Weeb now under pressure as to the inside. Race Chase looked for it, didn't quite get it. As well, side by side, Ayahuasca and Nikki 64, and Ayahuasca to the 9th spot. Great battles happening now as we're closing in on 10 laps to go. As well, Gotney Weeb to the inside of Nikki 64 into turn 1, and he's made that one count. Take another quick look at the positions gained and lost. Lancey +7. Kelly Robb +6, Shariah +6, Nikki 64, Edwin also +6. Fire Up Flow still is the biggest loser, -11. Such a shame for him and the early goings that really has now defined his race, unfortunately. Travis Scott, 3-second penalty for him, up to 6 seconds. Race Day still leads Scornsy atop the charts. 4 seconds the gap. Race Day does as well have the 3-second penalty. Race Day is into the pit lane. Medium tires on here for the Mercedes, and he's going to come out right in the heart of things. But now, the question is, how long does Scornsy decide to stay out on track, similarly to Kate Thomas or Lancey or Shankadelic? Race Day will exit the pit lane with the Ferrari of Kylie Robin as well as Cam Tizzle in the background, although he will be able to stay ahead of the Ferrari as well as the Aston. But that puts him about 5 seconds behind the battle for the 2nd position, and as well the battle 12 seconds back to Scornsy, the current leader, although at the current rate will inherit the lead of the Grand Prix once more if when Scornsy decides to stop his 2nd time. Through 8 and 9 they go. Cam Tizzle 0.4 of a second on Callie Robb closing in. That move's not going to quite get made yet. Ayahuasca in position as well. 2/10 in closing. And not quite. We'll have to check back in with those fellas in a minute. As Scornsy decides to stay out another lap, Kate Thomas will also stay out. Cam Tizzle to the inside of Callie Robb, up to 6 for him. Ayahuasca next in line. Has his sights set on the Racing Bull of Shariah. Looking to the outside. Tell you what, Shariah's parked it quite well on the inside line there, but that's going to compromise his getaway, and Ayahuasca didn't get one much better. That Sauber was all out of shape getting on throttle, and now to the inside entering turn 1. It's going to have to be well late on the brakes, and does. Ayahuasca to the 8th position as well. Now Gotney Weeb. Oh, well, I tell you what, Shariah was about ready to spin that car around going through 2. That car was well out of shape. Had to really kind of slam on the brakes there realistically, and Gotney Weeb, I think, may have made contact with the back end of the Racing Bull. Nice battle indeed. We've got them up and down the grid. So much to keep track of. And as well with a lot of these guys on 3-second penalties, that's definitely going to be quite the factor, as Shariah appears to have... What the hell? Okay, something's gone wrong there with Shariah. I don't really know what's happened. Nicky's going to get around race chase here. Something wrong with that V-carb, or did he just kind of lose out on acceleration? I'm not entirely sure. It looks like he may have lost it, yeah. Mentally, the football's left him, apparently, yeah. Shankadelic into the pit lane now for his second pit stop. Good to see a 2-stop strategy on the way in this race. That'll promote race day back to 4th. Scornsy, Thomas, and Lancey still have yet to make their second stop, and race day now with the fastest lap. Max Verstappen making his go. Oh, and Shirai has picked up a 10er for speeding into the pit lane. That's unfortunate. 13 seconds of penalty now for the Racing Bull. And his teammate not that much better off. 6 seconds of penalty. I tell you what, for the majority of the grid being on penalty, unlucky 13. Well, for what it's worth, when we look at this now, again, the majority of the grid on these 3-second penalties, it's definitely going to be, well, if you can avoid getting one, you know, that's a good thing. But as well, as we have a yellow flag, that's race chase has gone off. Yes, he has. That's because they suck. Well, it's possible. Exiting turn 7. Race chase seemed to have spun the car around. I believe it was he that was responsible for that first safety car having spun. As, oh, goodness me, side by side going into Wall of Champions there. Race day only just got out ahead of the Racing Bull. Yuki Tsunoda washed, I agree. I think it's Ayuma Iwasa getting the call up next, potentially. I don't know. Spins it in T7. Tell you what, Ayahuasca to the inside of Kelly Robb. Yep, he's done that one quite nicely. But with the amount of 3-second penalties that we do have, that kind of almost begins to reset the grid. There's more of them with them than without them. You know, and as well, it wasn't raining like it was in 2011. To the inside, race day to the inside of Kate Thomas. Well, this is interesting now because Scornsy on these, 21 lap old hard tires. It's a 7.5 second gap, and you can see race day having since pit not all that long ago. He is just carving through the field. It's going to be interesting to see. Scornsy, I think, is going to absolutely try to hold on here. Whether or not he's able to is the question, because even then, when we were getting, 16 lap olds, I tell you what, I'm surprised because we were even seeing cars like Ayahuasca on those 16 lap old hard tires. He was starting to get out of shape as well. I can only imagine what Scornsy's dealing with, and he's since lost about 7/10 of a second on that previous lap. So race day is definitely catching him, although race day is not going to have the benefit of, time to his advantage here. Race day before pitting had about a 5-second advantage over the top spot. He's now down by 6, has the 3-second penalty as well. Scornsy could very well be walking away with this one. 105 in Canada, the hard start, losing it after 17, 18 laps. Well, I tell you what, a lot of it so far, his tires, I think, might be slightly more sensitive just on the sheer difficulty added of actually being able to put the power down in these cars. I really, tell you what, he's still going. It's impressive here. Scornsy, this is why he's the greatest of all time in Midwest F1. And I tell you what, race day, for what it's worth, he's in that position as well, right? I think he's won, 3 titles in the bounce now? 1 away from tying the championship record? Losing too much time, absolutely right. Started that last lap ahead by 6.8. Now is within 5 seconds the gap, and such a shame with only 5 laps to go. Coming up very shortly here. Scornsy's going to be losing a lot of positions. Last week's race winner in Imola. Is he going to go for softs? He might have to. If we look at the gap from the leader on back, he will roughly come out of the pit lane about P7, P8, something like that. He's not going to lose that much, but he will be out of contention for this. And I tell you what, we did see, Ayahuasca was one of the 2 drivers that, stayed out as long as they possibly could, actually started on those medium tires, had the safety car on lap 5, had the safety car on lap 5. Ayahuasca stayed out on the mediums in which he started the race on. And then stayed out under the safety car, was able to take those mediums, you know, an extra 10 laps. Was able to stop it, and now he's going to probably get to the end of this race on those hard tires that he's on. Only 11 lap. Well, so here's the thing with Scornsy, realistically. He's losing a lot of time to race day for the time. Like, let's be real. He has lost about 3 seconds in the past 2 laps as it is, as Lancey's going to get around Cake Thomas here. He's lost about 3 seconds. However, 5 laps to go here in this Canadian Grand Prix. He has, realistically, about 6 seconds, considering the penalty applied to race day. Scornsy, his job right now, drive smoothly from now as long as you possibly can. Even if race day overtakes you at this point, you still have the ability to win this race. As long as you keep it within the white lines and you keep those tires at least somewhat manageable. 2.2 is the gap. Gottney Weeb has now got his 3-second penalty. That'll put, that'll make what? 7 drivers within the track to not have penalty for the time being. Cake Thomas is going to gain at least the 1 spot. Kelly Robb isn't going to gain any. Houdini, I think, will gain maybe 2 or 3 here. We'll have to wait and see. And I tell you what, it's been a very clean race as well. We have not had a lot of even somewhat controversy here. Very good racing up and down the board. Overtakes happening left and right. Even some of those, happen in difficult positions, like right there as Cake Thomas. Oh, and I think Cake's going to have to give that. Oh, okay, well, that's interesting. So Lancey's gone outside into the wall at Wall of Champions. Cam Tizzle now trying to find a way around the Racing Bull. What I was going to say, Cake Thomas had taken that spot, but did actually, since having done that, gone over the curb there and actually had gone off track. I was going to say Cake Thomas should have probably given that spot back, having taken having cut the corner and gained the advantage. However, Lancey has since hit the wall, and it is now more or less in the battle with Cam Tizzle, as Tizzle could very much realistically take that 3rd step on the podium. Have to wait and see. And speaking of podiums here, Scornsy only has 0.7 of a second race day behind. DRS activated for the Mercedes. Commentator, what's my favorite 2025 livery? So, this is... I tell you what, I love the look of the Williams. It's not the V-carb, I'm not going to lie to you. When I went to Canada this year, I loved the look of the Williams on track as race day around the outside into turn 1, as we kind of expected that move was going to be happening. Now the guess is, an extra 3 laps to go here coming up the line this time. Is race day going to be able to put that time behind a Scornsy? Scornsy's going to be having DRS as well. Oh, that's going to be a difficult guess. To the inside now, Cam Tizzle and Lancey up to the 4th spot. The V-carb definitely has something. I think, honestly, for what it's worth, though, I think I like last season's better. I don't know. I do like it, though. It's definitely good. As we have a yellow flag, someone has gone off somewhere. Ferrari did look good. Yep, I like the look of the Ferrari. This chrome McLaren is slightly off-putting, but I actually quite like the chrome. I'm not going to lie. It's different, and it kind of fits the scheme of the car quite well. I like it. Oh, it's Cam Tizzle. Well, I tell you what, he's cut 8 and 9 there. As we now have a yellow flag. That's an Alpine that's gone off. That is got to be Nicky 64. And, well, goodness me, thank God ghosting is on, because that car was about an absolute... I mean, I don't know how to get into that with without getting canceled, realistically. Travis Scott's got a 3-second penalty now. Honestly, last year's Red Bull looks so good. I tell you what, Red Bull, I wish they did more. That's my only complaint with the Red Bull. Not even necessarily because they're using the same livery every year, right? But when they won the Constructors' Championship in 2022, they should have done something special to commemorate that, and they didn't, and that makes me upset. 2 laps to go at the line this next time by. Scornsy is outside of DRS range on race day 2016. However, it is only by about 1.2. Shape of the car matches the livery too good. It does. No, I definitely agree with that. And you know what else? I thought the Sauber looked pretty good on track as well. It's not like, from images and looking at it on TV, it doesn't look good. In real life, it did not look bad. It really didn't. 1.8 the gap. And I tell you what, those tires have got to be so off the cliff now. 27 laps old, and still 2 laps to go here. He's got to find a way to hold on to this final remaining second, or maybe hope that race day picks up an additional 3-second penalty. That's a Bortoleto and Hulk fan. I love the green. I tell you what, nothing wrong. Seeing Hulkenberg get that podium was so fantastic. Let me tell you something. That was just so great to see. I remember having watched that race live, and you know, for what it's as we got Lancey and Weeb side by side into the well, Lancey's gone off, and Lancey gets okay. So lot to unpack there. Okay, so Lancey had gone side by side with Weeb into Wall of Champions just then. Lancey had gone off the track, came back on the track, collided with the Williams, spun out, and hit the inside wall. Lot to unpack there. Lot to unpack there. 2.5 tenths of a second. 3 tenths now for Shankadel. I'm just glad. You know what I'm glad about with that whole fiasco is that they didn't magically come up with something being illegal on that Sauber. It just really happened, and there was no taking it away from him, and that was so good. So good. And now, as you can see, that gap of 3 seconds is now gone the wayside for Scornsey back to race day. Final lap of the 5th anniversary Grand Prix on the way. Race day leads by essentially 7/10 of a second. Unless he picks up an additional 3-second penalty, this race is going to be his, and he firmly gets his feet back into this championship battle. The driver who's won 3 titles on the bounce and looking to do it again. Ayahuasca's now got a 3-second penalty, so does Nicky. Most of the times when something gets flagged by another team, they're right. I mean, that's... I kind of just wish that sort of thing... This is my issue with F1, that as much as they allow innovation, they also do get people on the regulations for really dumb things. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Innovation is what drives that form of motorsport. I mean, everywhere you look, every generation of F1 car has had it, and that's what makes it good, in my opinion, similar to the WEC. GSR Edwin gets around Lancey, that being for the 8th position. Of course, penalty still in play. But for 5 years, the Midwest F1 League has put on classics each and every time. They have raced each and every Thursday since F1, I believe, 2020. And we've had another good one today. Race Day 2016, on his way to becoming one of the all-time greats, will win the 5th anniversary Grand Prix here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Scornsey crosses the line a 1.5 seconds shy of being able to take the win. And look at this, Cam Tizzle around Kate Thomas into Wall of Champions to be able to take 3rd. What a move! Testicular fortitude, how about that? 3rd place for Cam Tizzle, what a move that was. Kate Thomas 4th. Shankadelic 5th, good result for him. Weeb, Ayahuasca. Ayahuasca, for having the off strategy, didn't quite find the opportunity to get himself bounced back. Callie Robb is going to take 8th. Edwin drops a couple of spots there with the penalties applied. Shariah Coleslaw will come around the line. He will cross the line 11th. He will not finish there with the penalties that he does have. What a phenomenal race we've had for you today. Race Day 2016. This league fails to disappoint. There's a difference between illegal and new. I absolutely agree with that, but that's why I like it, you know. Being the American I am and growing up on NASCAR, there was a time where they really allowed innovation, and that doesn't happen anymore, and that upsets me. Because you could argue the racing is closer because it's a single spec series, but there's no opportunity for drivers and teams to actually get better, and so that kind of drives me away from it, tell you the truth. And that's why I have probably become an endurance racing fan as well as F1 for that matter. Go real fast and real left. Well, I tell you what, Watkins Glen coming up this week. Race Day 2016, multi-time champion. He's the winner today here in Canada as well. Fantastic race for him. You know what I like as well? Surfist a lot. I think, truthfully, if the World Rally Championship had the ability to be correctly broadcasted on TV, like camera setups and whatnot, like F1, it would be the most popular motorsport in the world. I do believe that. I think rallying is phenomenal, and I've definitely gotten into that in the recent years. No. Race day 2016, your winner, Scornsey second, Cam Tizzle third, Kate Thomas in fourth. Good result for him. Shankadelic fifth, Gottney Weeb sixth, Ayahuasca seventh. Kelly Robb, Edwin, and Lancey round out the top 10. Houdini gets P11, Fire Up Flow 12th, Shreya 13th, 14th belongs to Race Chase, 15th Travis Scott, 16th Gunner, 17th Nicky. Unfortunate day for him, which started relatively promising. And then unfortunately Drismic, Say, and Senior, the three cars that have not finished this Grand Prix. What a race we've had for you. What an incredible 5 years that we have had. And for what it's worth, I'm very, very happy to be able to continue to commentate these races over the over 100 I have done of them for Midwest F1. It's been a phenomenal ride for so long, and I can't wait to see what's in store next.